Hello, everybody. Let me start off by saying, forgive me for being so late, and forgive me for being seen as this way in this light. I'm coming to you guys as I am, not as I want to be seen right now. So the level up is on the way, and I'm just here to help people like myself break down these mindset theories that all of these mindset gurus got going on. And I'm here to help you know that everything will be okay. You have a purpose, and together, hopefully with me, we're gonna figure out our purpose together, which I think I'm breaking down, cracking on mine. But let's just start it off, right? Let's get right into the thick of things, because I already know how this goes, because we all have a collective consciousness. We all think the same thing, whether you believe it or not, right? That's how we all relate. That's how we all are related. So the first thing I want to break down is money, right? Every person that I know of my skin color, of my denomination, which some people might call us the so-called blacks, African American, Afro American, whatever, right? We all want money. We all want to obtain those riches that we see the celebs with, right? We want to obtain that. We might not want to be bombarded like celebrities, but we want to be remembered like them. We want to be loved like them. We don't necessarily want to lose our loved ones or lose the life or the control of the life that we have, but everybody from the black community that I've ever met ultimately wants the good life. This is why we fall into things like robbing, selling drugs, whatever. And sometimes that could be survival, but then other times it could be for greed. Like most of the movies that we get shown growing up in the hood is somebody trying to make it big off of drugs, right? So we innately come from a place of lack. Saying that we don't have, and that, we want to be on that other side. I'm here to tell you guys today that whatever you want, whatever it is that you may want to obtain, if it's riches, whatever, right? You can have that. It is already here. And I know that we've heard this, but I'm going to break this down to you guys the best way I can. If you have a desire, right, whatever your desire is, it could be money, it could be a fast car, it could be a better looking girlfriend, it could be a faithful man, faithful woman, whatever, right? Whatever your desire is, the reason why you seek that desire, you feel connected to that desire, is because it is already here. Now, that means that if that desire did not exist, you would not be aware of it, right? That desire that you want, you are aware of it, you know that it's out there, and you feel connected to it. You just don't know how you're going to obtain it, how it's going to present itself into your life. But I'm here to tell you that if you have that desire, that is your higher self telling you that you deserve that desire. That's why it is your desire anyway. It's like, for instance, your desire might be that, my desire might be this, but we all are desiring the same type of things because we have a collective consciousness. But if you're desiring a car, I'm desiring a girl, right? My innate desires isn't necessarily for a car. My desires is for a girl. So that means that my higher self knows that there's a woman out there for me based on what I need in my life, right? You wanting a desire for a car, or a particular type of car, or a car in general, whatever. If you desiring that car, that is your higher self telling you, yo, you deserve this. This is yours. And you have it, but it's not in physical form. You have it within you. You want it within you, but you just got to realize that you have it already. When you realize that you have it already, you realize that your higher self is telling you that you deserve this, then you will go about making the decisions in order to get it. There's nothing that we can't have. There's nothing that we can't have. All there is you got to make a decision, and then you have to have intention on that decision that you're making. Think of it like this. For my brothers that play 2K or whatever, right? Or, 2K, college football, Madden. Anything that you can create a player on, even Grand Theft Auto Online, right? Anything that you can create a player on. When you start to create this player, this avatar, this whatever, right? When you start to create this player, you have a feeling within inside you. You do not have a feeling of hate. The thing that you're creating, you do not hate it. You have a sense of love for it, like it's a real being. You have an intention for it, for what you expect it to do in life. Right? You have an intention for this thing that you're creating to come out and perform your will, basically. Even though it's performing and your avatar is doing all of the work per se, through the vision, realistically or reality speaking, we're doing the work, but in our character's mind, or the thing that you created in their mind, they're doing all the work. They don't realize that we're behind them and they're just doing and bidding our will, right? And if you create a good build, they're going to follow the path of, becoming MVP or winning a championship ring. And if they don't follow the path that you want, if it wasn't a correct build and you don't have that love or that intention for it again, you might delete the build. You might delete it. You might, not saying that God doesn't love us or whatever, but once your player, you feel like your player is doing whatever the fuck it wants to do on its own, you're going to remove yourself from that. And that's just like, we have the power to do that on the game. Like, the game doesn't know that it's real or alive, but it thinks in its world, it thinks that it's a real live person. And it say you build a 2K build and you just leave it alone and you just stop fucking with it. You have no more expectations for it because you realized how far it was going to get. So you stopped putting your time and your effort into that player and you moved on to creating a new one. What I'm saying is, when you create something, you innately have a feeling. That feeling that you have when you create it, you're putting that feeling in your creation, and ultimately, whatever it is that you're creating with that intention and that feeling, that's supposed to bring that into the world. So you create something, you make it physical, you embody your feelings into that creation, and then you bid your creation to do the will that you wanted. But before it even bids the will that you wanted, you give that creation a name. You have a feeling for the creation. You have an intention for the creation. You create it, and then you give it a name. Right? So, whatever it is that you want to create, whatever it is that you want to have, you are capable of creating it and having it. You just have to put yourself in the mindset of your feelings. Are you creating from hate? Are you creating how God created? from love, joy, peace. Love, joy, peace. Now, if you have a desire and you don't know where to start to get to that desire, number one, you got to ask yourself, are you really focused on that desire? Because 9 times out of 10, people can say that they want a desire, but they're really focused on all the problems on why they can't get that desire, and then they trap themselves into feeling like they can never get that desire. Well, you won't get that desire if you're just trapped on if you just keep on focusing and keep on thinking about what's keeping you from that desire. You will always get what you're focusing on. Whatever it is that you're focusing on that's blocking you from getting that desire, you will always get that. Once you start focusing on what you desire, you focus on that like as if you ran 500 miles and you need a drink of water. You focus on that like that drink of water. Every mile you run is to get to that drink of water. No matter what nobody says, no matter if you fail once or twice, no matter what. If that is your desire, you will be put on a path and you will start making decisions towards that desire. Once you start thinking of lack towards that desire, you'll either put yourself in flight, fight, or pause. And that's a negative state. You won't create nothing from that state. You won't create nothing from a fearful state where you have to fight, run, or you don't do anything. When you are in a state of, I am capable. So basically, right, people hear this word abundance and we get scared of it because we don't really know how to calculate abundance in our head. We can picture it, or we can picture $1 million or whatever in our head until it makes us blue in the face. But when they speak about abundance, abundance is basically having the ability to do what you need to do. So it's basically, if you break that down, if you simplify having the ability to do what you need to do, it's basically, what are you capable of doing? Whatever you feel that you're capable of doing in this state, in the now, not in the future, not in the past. Everything you build comes from right now. So if you have in your mind right now that you're capable of doing whatever it is that you want, you will get it. I don't know why, I don't know how. Listen to me. Whatever it is that you want, you don't think about how you're going to get it. You don't think about what you got to do to get it. It's all going to come together as long as you focus on you wanting it. For instance, for all of my people that smoke weed out there, when you want some weed, even if you don't have no, I'll use this. If you don't have no money for no weed and you want some weed, you just want it. You don't necessarily know how it's going to come, but you end up getting that fucking weed. Whether you ask for an IOU, whether you ask somebody to get, whether somebody gave you a sample, you never know how you're going to get it, but I bet you're going to end up with that damn J. And we do it all the time, and weed is simple enough to use because it be times when motherfuckers didn't have a J and they want to smoke real bad, and then just out the blue. I mean, when you want it so bad, when you want it so like terribly bad, sometimes you don't get it. Sometimes you don't get it, and that's just because you're resisting something. You're resisting. At the end of the day, if you want something really bad and you don't get it, you're resisting. And Not even that. Not even that. Like, you can be resisting as far as you didn't go do something that you were supposed to do to get that shit, or you're just not patient. Maybe something is coming, is on the way for you, but you're just not patient enough. Because, like, you know, we live in a limited world. But I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you get things so fast you don't even realize we live in a limited world. It just depends on how much you feel like in lack you are. Because 9 times out of 10, when you need the weed real bad and you want to smoke and you don't got the money for the weed or whatever, you're living in lack in some way, shape, or form. And when you're living in lack, you're not living of abundance. So you're living in lack, so you feel like you're not capable of getting this weed. Whatever you gotta do. Maybe you gotta stand on the corner and panhandle to get the weed. Maybe you gotta get down on your hands and knees and clean somebody's shoes to get the weed. When you focus on the problem of not having the weed and you don't focus on the solution, you will never come up with the solution. But when you come up with solutions on how to get the weed, you'll end up getting that motherfucking weed. Excuse my language. But that's just one of the simplest things that I can use. That's one of the simplest things that I can use, because that's something that us in the black community, we all have access to that. We all have access to marijuana, to weed, to whatever, right? But the bigger part of it is, it's like that for everything. God made everything under the sun. And even if you look at money isn't even real. And how put it like this: if you were hungry as fuck on an island and all there was money, you would not be able to survive. So right then and there, money would become valueless. So what is money really portraying to black people? Why we feel like we need it in order to survive when we don't? We want it to promote a status, to give a feeling, to look a certain way, to dress a certain way, to act a certain way. We're looking at money to give us that permission to do that. So basically, you're looking at yourself and you're telling yourself you're not capable of doing that unless you have the money. And that's the problem. You are capable of doing anything you put your mind to. If you have a desire, then it is yours. Your higher self is telling you that it is yours. You're meant for it. It's not outside of you. It's for you. You have it. You just didn't put yourself in the alignment with it. You're brushing it off. You're telling yourself, tomorrow I'll do that. Then tomorrow comes and then it'll be like, oh, I don't feel like doing it still. Tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. You know what you have to do. So why are you not doing it? Why are you afraid? Yes, you will fail. You will fail, but you gotta learn. You have to learn it. If you don't learn it, and you don't fail it, and you don't do it, you will never become it. Even Jordan missed a fucking shot, man. Jordan missed a shot. If Jordan missed a shot, you ain't gonna miss no shot. You gotta miss the shot in order to learn how you can make the shot. And then when you make the shot, you're gonna be considered the GOAT. So why don't you go practice the shot? Why don't you get up and go practice the shot? Why are you still sitting here and watching? You know why? Because you can. You feel like that's what you're capable of doing right now. But are you capable of getting up and going for your desire? not for what's stopping your desire. Go for your desire no matter what nobody tells you. I don't care if I'm not a firefighter today. If I tell myself today that I am a firefighter, I am a firefighter. I just got to go do what it takes to be a good firefighter. You could call yourself whatever it is, but there's no such thing as good or bad. But you can either exceed at something or you cannot succeed at something. You get what I'm saying? You can either be great at something or not be great. Why is it that when it comes to smoking weed, everybody wants to be the best roller, the best pothead, the best whatever, when it's destructive to you? But when it's positive for you, why can't you go out to be the best in that? You can, but why do you feel like you're capable of not? Why do you feel like you're not capable of getting up and going to do what God has blessed you to do? If he woke you up now, if you have your voice, I don't care about the money. It doesn't matter about the money. You don't need money for everything. That's the illusion. That is the illusion. How do I know you don't need money for everything? This is how I know you don't need money for everything. Because whatever you want, you can have it without having money. Everything you want, you can have it without having money. You just have to align yourself with that feeling and you can get it. Let's use somebody that's hungry, for example. Somebody that is hungry and that wants some food. Let's say they have not $1, but they want a McDonald's sandwich, right? There's a couple things you can do without having money to go get that sandwich. It just depends on if you want it and if somebody feels what you're putting out, right? So you can ask somebody, can they give you that sandwich? You can go on McDonald's and say, you don't have no money, or they willing to give a sandwich. It's so many things you could do. You could go clean a car for the sandwich. You can go clean somebody's shoes for the sandwich. You can go do a favor for the sandwich. You see? Look, I didn't even really want the weed, but I wanted the weed, and look, I got some weed. It's little like that. Like, it's little things. Like, when you stop wanting and you just become and you just filter within, then that becomes like, we try to control the earth and we try to control life so much, but when you start becoming life and you live within life, then you are within life. You are life. You are a part of life. But once you stop living life and you just sleep and you just stay in one spot, then you're not even of life. You're trying to control it. You're trying to wait for something mysteriously magical to happen, and it's never going to happen unless you make the change. Let's break down creation again. If you are creating something, you have a feeling inside of you, then you create what you're basically feeling inside of you. You create that, right? Then after you create what you're feeling inside of you, you give it a name. You have expectations for it. And when you're creating that thing and you finally see the final product, when you're creating it, you're creating from a space of love, joy, peace. And then you have intention for what you want your creation to do. That's what God did with us. You know what God's intention for humanity is? God expects us to have togetherness, not control. Connection, not control. Companionship, not control. He didn't make Adam to control Eve. He didn't make Eve to control Adam. And that's where we got it confused. We try to control everything. He put us on this earth. He put us with each other to create more, to connect more, to be with each other more. This is why everything you create is going to be for the masses. And you're going to benefit from it. But the masses is going to benefit from it as well. We create to create. We don't create to control. Some people might do that, but innately, there's no control. People do what they do. We all control ourselves. Somebody can manipulate you into thinking that they control you. But at the end of the day, you got to realize you're making the decision to do whatever it is that they got control over you with. When you can look at yourself and say, I am capable, that's the abundance. That's where abundance comes from. You are capable of doing what God planned for you to do. You're capable of doing what you desire. Any desire you have it because your future self is telling you that it belongs to you. And people don't understand that. Every desire that you seek or that you want, you have that desire in you because you see it. If it didn't exist or it was impossible to get, then you wouldn't have the desire for it. If you have the desire for it, then it's not impossible to get. It exists. It is here. If you want it, that is your higher self saying, yo, this belongs to you. Why are you not going to get it? This belongs to you. Why are you not obtaining it? What is stopping you from getting it? You know what's stopping you? You. It doesn't matter what the outside world thinks. It doesn't matter what nobody fucking tells you. Whatever you feel like you are capable of doing at the time, like if you feel like you are capable of climbing a ladder, you will climb that ladder. If you feel like you are not capable of going skydiving, you will not skydive. If you feel like you are capable of swimming, you will try to swim. If you feel like you are capable of shooting a basketball, you will shoot it. Whatever you feel like you are capable of doing, you will go do it. But when you don't feel like you're capable of doing it, even if it's your desire, you will not do it. And that makes me mad. But I love you. Whatever you feel like you are capable of doing, you can do it. So I want to leave you guys with this. Create what you want. Your desires, whatever you desire, whatever you want in life, focus on that, the desire. Don't focus on nothing else. Focus on what you want. Don't focus on what's going to stop you in the path. Don't worry about what path you're going to take to get there. If you want a desire, focus on the desire. Every day you wake up, the desire. Every day you eat, you sleep, you drink, the desire. Every day you go to sleep, the desire. The desire. Whatever you desire, focus on that. Every freaking waking moment that you operate the earth, focus on what you want. Focus on what you want, not what you don't have. Do not focus on what you don't have. Do not focus on what you lack. Do not focus on what you feel like is stopping you, because at the end of the day, it's you stopping you. You are choosing to let that stop you. You're choosing to give that shit control to stop you. Whether it's going to school for a year or 2 years, or I don't feel like going to school for these 2 years. By the time I get out, I'm going to be this age or whatever. You're going to be that age regardless. Time is going to pass regardless. So why not go do what you desire to do? Everybody, I leave you with this. You are capable. Your intentions are real. Whatever you have, whatever you intend for the world to feel coming from you, that's real. Create what you're going to create, because I believe in you. If nobody else believes in you, know that G believes in you. Peace out.